Good morning, Facebook community. This is Jennifer Noreen with Beyond Brand Collective. Hello. And this is Jennifer Noreen with Beyond Brand Collective. Hello. And this is Holly with Spinnaker Property Management. How are you, Holly?
Hi, Jennifer. Great. How are you?
Good to see you. So I noticed a title change with you. Are you now operations manager, operations and portfolio manager, or talk to me about that? Are you getting fancy on us?
I am very fancy. No, actually, I have been the operations manager since we've moved here. Gosh, what was that, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I have.
Okay. And so you are involved with both owners and renters, obviously, very
I am.
much so. Yeah. Okay. So today we wanted to talk about rent resources, which is a topic that Holly works with day to day because she is very involved with residents who are looking for help paying rent during this COVID-19 pandemic, but also owners who are looking to just be to receive rent fairly, right? So they own the property and they fairly deserve the value of the property. So, and these renters are in lease agreements. So I think it's important. One thing I've come to understand is that these rental programs do not excuse renters from their lease agreements. They still owe that money. It's just giving them a extension on their lease agreement. Is that correct, Holly?
With the moratorium that's happening right now, it's giving them an extension on the rent, not the lease itself, but the actual rent that's owed.
Right.
And currently, the moratorium is to lift October 15th, but we believe that that will be extended.
Yes, but I think it's important to point out because it's really not free rent. It is an extension of your lease commitment. So, and to me, if you can pay your rent because you're just creating stress for yourself with growing this balance, right?
Amen.
And so anyway, I think that's important because I think there's people throw around the word free in this situation, and it's free now, but it's not, it's not really free. It's not canceling their commitment. So
No,
I know there's some that go ahead.
You still owe the rent.
Yes. So I know there's some of these programs, and there are many, and I think Washington State is amazingly generous. We have so many options for people that are struggling right now. And I think that's really a positive, great thing of us all kind of coming together to make sure everybody stays in their homes and, has what they need for their families. So can you tell me about the programs that you most frequently refer to and why you most frequently refer to them? And then I'm going to share a list of other programs as well.
Usually we will get emails or information of who has funding. Associated Ministries is huge. They help quite a bit. Same with Catholic Community Services. We have Helping Hand House that's also helping along with LAHSA.
So Helping Hand House and LAHSA, which stands for, it's like landlord. It's a tough acronym.
Lakewood Area Shelter Association.
There you go. Lakewood Area Shelter Association. Wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. So LAHSA, and what are other ones that you refer to or that are top of mind for you?
We actually have 3 new ones that we just got wind of, and not just got wind of, the last month or so. And that is Korean Women's Association, that they're helping with funding right now. Our Sister's House is helping the Rainbow Center. I've sent a few tenants there within the last couple of weeks, and they're getting help from all of those agencies right now. Some of them just a month, some of them 3 months.
Wow, that's incredible. And I know also that your owner, Mark Melsness, is involved with Next Chapter. And Next Chapter helps with housing with single moms specifically. And so there's that one as well. So we know this is a lot of information in detail. I mean, in general, how it works, you don't necessarily have to call Holly. You can go to their website and see the numbers that you can call. If you get stuck, certainly Holly will take your call, but go to the agencies directly, right?
Please.
And I'm going to go ahead and share a list. This page you're looking at is on the website under resources, paying your rent, on the far right of the menu at the top. you can just kind of bypass this top portion. And this gives you the Pierce County resources. So there's DSHS, things especially for veterans. A lot of the churches are helping. Cabrini, Lakewood Area Shelter Association, there's LASA. Community action programs, All Saints Community Services, homeless prevention, Gig Harbor Peninsula Fish. There's many good organizations here. I think one of the reasons it's really important that people contact these organizations directly is because the situation changes, right? So I know we put out some information about a landlord liaison program that was actually stalled because they were deluged with applications. So then they pulled back their announcement for a while. So it's just really important to not waste your time applying for things that aren't available at the moment. There's probably something else available. So check the list and call them directly and find out, are you still taking applications, and how do I apply? Would you not agree, Holly?
Yes, absolutely. And I also tell the residents, when you do get a hold of one of these agencies, and if they are helping, what is the criteria? Do you have to be 50% median? Do you have to have, I think everybody across the board with some of these agencies, you have to be affected by COVID. It can't be you just haven't paid your rent in 6 months.
Right. You have to be able to show a loss relative to COVID. Absolutely. So
what they're looking,
and that has to be maybe job loss or, small business owners I know have been affected.
Sure.
Yeah, you have to be able to prove that.
Right. I also tell the residents, once you do get a hold of these agencies, and if they can or can't help you, ask them for referrals. Get more information. Let's get some other agencies that we don't even know about right now.
Right. And if you find someone that's really great and helpful, feel free to email. I guess you could email Holly at spinnakerpm.com with that information. We want to keep this list relevant to our residents, right? And our owners, because I know owners are looking for resources to refer to residents. And we're trying to organize it as we go. It's getting to be quite a long list. But if you know of something, we're going to be adding the Rainbow Center, Korean Women's Association, and what was the other one, Holly?
Our Sister's House.
Our Sister's House. So you'll see that here in the next day or so as well. And then also Next Chapter, I think it's nextchapter.org. You can check them out as well, but we'll update this list. We'll always be updating this list, and hopefully this will eventually get better. We won't have such a need, but for right now, I know there's a lot of people that are really needing financial assistance. So what else do you want to share with the Facebook community about rent, Holly? I think one of the things you talked about before we got on the live stream was, what do you do if people aren't paying their rent and they won't communicate, right? So you're offering these resources, you're reaching out to people, they're not calling you back, you're emailing, you're not hearing back. What do you do, Holly, when that's going on as a landlord?
Well, actually, there is a brand new program that just rolled out, the Fair Center Housing of Washington. They have collaborated with Tacoma Pro Bono along with the Center for Dialogue and Resolution. The three of them got together, and they are now asking for us to send our residents information, or asking the residents that won't communicate to contact them. And they're trying to be the middleman. They want to say, hey, this is what you owe. How can we help? These are the resources, and kind of just that way the residents not hearing from me, pay your rent, screaming and yelling. And this way, these people are coming in, they're helping, they're coming together, they have all the resources at their fingertips, and they're taking them under their wing and saying, this is what you got to do. This is what we're going to do to save your home. So that way they're getting it from other outside agencies, and we're working right along with them.
So I would Google, I just put them up on our ticker. There's Spinnaker Property Management, and there's their phone number. Here's Spinnaker PM That's look for the resources section on the right hand side and look for pay your rent under resources.
Yeah.
And then Housing Justice Project, the Center for Resolution and Fair Housing Center of Washington. Are those the three you were referring to?
Yes, and I have a printout right here. It
Heard a
says,
couple of them.
yeah, and it's actually sending everybody to Tacoma Pro Bono directly. They've
So is
shared.
it tacomaprobono.com?
They're actually asking for HJP at tacomaprobono.org.
HJP at Tacoma.
Probono.org. And then their website is www.tacomaprobono.org. I even have a phone number of 888-822-5134. And I'll make sure that information gets on our website also.
Yeah, I agree. Those three organizations need to be added to the resource list as well. So there's tons of options. If you're an owner and you're trying to collect rent and you're struggling, of course, call Spinnaker. But if you want to work with these agencies directly, you can. And then if you're a resident and you need to pay your rent and you're stressed out and you feel like you've exhausted your efforts with your landlord, but you still want help, you can reach out to these agencies and they'll help you work with your landlord. So there's just a lot of different ways to approach it. I think it's great that we have so many options for people. So thanks, Holly. And anything else you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
You're welcome. So Spinnaker PM under resources, pay your rent, and then we will be updating. It sounds like we've got 6 or 7 more to add. So that list is getting longer, it's just great news. So anyway, thanks, Holly. We'll talk again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, dear.